So today we are going to talk about story writing. Now let's understand writing skills are one of the easiest concept for all of you all. To understand them, it's very simple. We'll begin with story writing. Now let us basically understand what is the purpose of writing a story or an experience. So first and foremost, a story is written so that you as a child, as a student, can develop your storytelling skills. What happens when we listen to a story? If the story is really interesting, we are all hooked to it. We just want the story to go on and on and on. And what happens if the story is boring? We doze off to sleep, right? So, all of us need to understand here that when we are writing a story, it has to be so interesting that your paper character is all hooked to it. He goes on and on and on reading it, and ultimately, your entire story is read. As a student, when you write a paper, when you write a story in your paper, the aim should be that the paper character reads your entire story. And how is this possible? Only if you write an interesting story. So it is a practice that you need to, you could say that you need to develop, you need to practice this art, okay, in order to get yourself perfect into story writing. Again, why do we make you all write a story? So that we can check your creativity and imagination. We can see like what kind of a fantasy world can you create for your readers. What all elements can you add in your story in order to make it so interesting? And finally, every story conveys a message. A story without a moral isn't complete. So, what is the message that your story is passing on to others? So, these are the three reasons why we all make you all write a story, so that we can develop your skills of storytelling, to also enhance your creativity and imagination, and also to make you understand that every story that you narrate has a lesson behind it. And we want you to convey those lessons to your readers. What is basically story writing? As I told you, it's an art which can be perfected only with practice. You can't be like, okay, tomorrow is your paper, and one day prior to it, you just read a story and you're like, wow, मुझे तो story इतना अच्छे से आता है. I'll now go and write a story. That's not possible. You can't. Your storytelling or story writing is not an art that you can perfect in just a day. It takes weeks and weeks of practice. And only after immense practice you can get perfect at it. So a story writing is basically a work of imagination, of fiction. It's an imagination. Here you're putting out your entire imagination in the story. Now, whenever you write a story, please understand that you do not have to use high level vocabulary. You can make use of basic simple English words and still write a great story. It's not that if you're going to use high level vocabulary only, then you'll get better marks. Sometimes what happens is maybe you've written a better vocabulary, but your paper corrector has no clue about it. And they will not sit with a dictionary out there searching for meanings. If they don't understand the meaning, they'll simply give you wrong. So don't go in for extravagant words. Keep it short, keep it simple. And yes, when you write a story, it should have a flow in it. Your story always begins with the introduction of a character, then the background, the surroundings. You have to give them a plot, everything. So it has to have a flow in it. You just can't put it in any sequence as you like it. Now, when we talk about story writing, we have to understand that it has 5 key elements. Characters. Now, do not add a lot of characters to your story. Keep it few, minimum 2, maximum 3, not beyond that. The fewer the characters, the more interesting you can make a story. If you try adding a lot of characters, you won't be able to do justice with each of the character. So avoid, don't add a lot of characters. Setting. Where is the story taking place? Is it in a garden? Is it on a beach? Is it in a house? Where is it? You need to tell the readers, okay, this is where exactly the incidents are happening. Plot. Do you want to pick up a horror, thriller, mystery, adventure? Go for it. Whatever you feel comfortable, go for it. You can also go in for a motivating one. You can, just create a story out of your own experiences in life. It's okay, you can do it. Conflict. When you watch a movie, if everything's going fine in the movie, everything is happy, you tend to get a little bored. When the twist in the movie comes, some action, the entry of a villain, that's when you are all the more hooked to the movie. In the same manner is a story. If everything is going absolutely fine, it will get a little boring for your paper corrector. So rather add some, spice in it. You can add, action in it, you can add drama in it, you can add emotions in it, you can. It's completely your choice, but yes, it needs to have a twist in it. You can't just keep a plain happy go story going on. No one will be bothered to read it as well. And theme, again, is related to the plot only. Do you want to go in for a horror, thriller, mystery, motivation, comedy, whatever you are comfortable, go for it. Yeah. We now move further to the character. Now, always understand one thing: your characters, maybe two or three, should always have a name in it. Never keep your characters nameless. Even for the matter, the lead character in your story is a dining table, it should have a name. Remember the time when we would write an autobiography on a table, on a pen, on a box, on a book? We all would give them names. Similarly, always have names to your characters. Be it a living person, dead person, a living thing, a non living thing, a toy, a robot, anything, it should have a name. And you can have various characters, like, yeah, of course, adhering to the limit, that's two minimum, three maximum. You can have a main lead character or a dining table also. It's okay. You can be as imaginative and as creative you can. Proceeding further, now let us understand what are the three different types of questions that can be asked in the examination pertaining to story writing. One is where the beginning will be given to you, and the second one will be the place where you'll be given the ending. So now, when the beginning of the story is given, please ensure that you begin the story exactly in those words. Do not change the sequence of the words. And if the ending is given, you have to always end the story with the same words. Do not change the sequence of the words, or do not change its ending. Keep it as it is. The third type of a question that can be asked is where the title will be given to you. That, you've been given a title and now you start a story on it. So there's no ending, there's no beginning, nothing, just the title. And you can create it, frame it in your own way. Now, proceeding further, let us understand the various tips to write a good story. These are the secrets of writing a good story. Number one, before you begin to write a story, you must have a clear idea of your plot. Now, when you're writing a story, okay, fine, let's take time to think how you can begin the story. How can the events unfold? You can create a rough plot also. Like in your answer paper with pencil, you can just create a rough plot so that you know exactly how your story, what will be the sequence of your story. You should exactly know how to begin your story. You should also know how to end your story. And trust me, if you've written a good story, if you began well, if you started well, and if you have end well, trust me, you're going to write a good one. Another secret, let me tell you. If you want to write an amazing story, always plan your climax first. That's a secret. Never always, plan your beginning. Always plan how your story is going to end and then form your story. Just Just, wait and watch the kind of story you're going to write. It's going to be outstanding. Proceeding further, never, or like let's understand, if suppose you've been given an outline, okay, outline of the story is given, so ensure one thing, that in such an outline, whenever you're framing it into a story, never change the sequence of the points. Keep the sequence of the points as it is given in the outline, and you have to connect the points in such a manner that you come up with rational story, something that is okay, logical also, जो रीडर्स को पढ़ते हुए डाइजेस्ट हो. You can't be writing an irrational story. Another way of making a story interesting is to add dialogues to it wherever possible. The more dialogues you add, the more you'll make a story lively. It's as if there is a conversation happening. And as I told you, I'll give names to your characters. Even animals can have names. Do not call them as cat or dog. Give them names. It's okay. In fact, these names are going to make your story look more lively and more interesting. Proceeding further, do not allow your story to be very long. If there's a word limit given, stick to it. But another suggestion to it is, we do check the length of your story. Okay, well, the length of the story does matter to us. So ensure that your story is at least of 2 sides or 1 full page. 1 full page or 2 sides, because remember, it's going to be a 20-mark story. Never ever forget concluding your story. In 9th and 10th, you'll have a chapter called as A Face in the Dark, which has an abrupt ending. Ruskin Bond was allowed to do it. We aren't allowed to do it. We need to conclude a story properly. Why do you need to conclude it properly? Because once the reader is done reading a story, the thing should still go on in his mind. Okay, aisa hua. Then this thing happened with this character. And he literally starts imagining what would happen further with the character. It's as if the reader is so lost in that story, he's still living that story. So always conclude a story well. Do not leave your readers hanging in middle. Don't do that. Conclude it properly. Give it a proper ending. Happy to happy, sad to sad, but give it an ending. Whenever you write a writing skill, be it story, essay, you always need to give it a title. Have you ever read a book without a name? A book without a name doesn't exist. Similarly, a story or an essay without a title doesn't exist. You need to have a proper title to your story. You can name it after the main character, the object, incident, or a proverb or a quote, anything, but it should have a title to it that is pertaining to your story. Write the story in past tense. Yes, if you're writing it in dialogues, it may be in present tense, but most of the time, your story is to be written in past tense. Use short sentences. Now, if you have thought of a long sentence, break it into 2 and write the sentence. Do not write extremely long sentences. What happens is, when the reader keeps on reading long sentences, he tends to lose interest from the story. If I ask you to learn a 1-page answer, and if I ask you to learn a 4-line answer, you'll be all the more happy to learn a 4-line answer rather than a 1-page answer. Why? Because it's cut short, it's easy, simple. Such are your sentences. If you write extremely long sentences, no one is going to like it. Keep it short, simple. You can break it into 2, like 1 long sentence, break it into 2 and then write it. It's absolutely okay. But don't write bigger ones. And last and the least, I could tell you the rule: never use slangs. Yo, buddy, what's up? Yo, bro, how's you? No. Looks good, sounds good in WhatsApp and Snapchat and Insta, but not in your answer paper. You will never ever use slangs in your paper. Anyways, how's you? No. Even anyways is a slang, so no. Not using anyways, anyway. And remember one thing, You do not ever write the way you speak. The way you speak is very different than your writing. So please ensure that you're not using any such inappropriate language that ends up, making you lose marks in your paper. Be very careful about it. At times what happens is you write and write and write, you're in a flow and you forget that you're writing an examination paper, and flow may you end up writing certain sentences which should not have been written. Avoid doing that. Okay. Now, let's talk about the various plots: adventure, science fiction, horror, mystery, motivation. These are the various plots that you can write a story on. Science fiction, something that involves UFO, aliens. You can talk about them, you can write about them, you can be creative with them. Talking about the format of story writing, always begin your story with an interesting phrase. You can also begin it with a dialogue. For example, wake up, Nikhil, it's 11 a.m. already. Don't you have your homework to complete? Shouted mother from the kitchen. Lazy Nikhil was least bothered about the shoutings. So what did I do over here? I've introduced my main character, who's Nikhil, and I've also spoken about his weakness, that he's a lazy person. You can begin a story like this with a dialogue. Yes, you can. Then, as I've already discussed with you all, you can use dialogues to reveal the character. You can talk about their strengths. You can talk about their weaknesses. What happens when you talk about their strengths and weaknesses? You make the character come alive in the minds of the readers. It's as if the readers can imagine one particular character who's doing things just the way you're writing it in the story. It's like a movie playing in their mind. And to make it more interesting, use dialogues. Plot. What do you mean by plot? It's a sequence of events around which the pursuits of main as well as other characters in your story revolves. It's basically, okay, this is your plot. If it's a mystery, so your characters are going to behave in a mysterious manner only, or they're going to be in search for some kind of a mystery, right? So the plot is basically the sequence of events, and always ensure that your events are always in sequence. Introduction of characters. They were having a good day, had a problem, went in search for the problem to find a solution to the problem. Conclusion. Every story should have a sequence. It should be written in a sequence, and every story should have some kind of twist in it. A story without a twist gets boring. Conclusion, as I told you all, end of the story, the ending of the story, no matter how short, it has to be concluded properly. Never let your story end abruptly. Don't let the readers imagine what happened next. You tell them this is how the story ended. It should be clear and logical story. So these are basically certain tips that you'll need to keep in mind when you all are writing a story. And this is the format of story writing. Moving on, before I proceed further with the next topic, how do you practice writing skills? I'm sure you all would have this thing in your mind that's English है, क्या पढ़ना है English में, सिर्फ comprehension तो लिखना है, writing skills तो लिखना है. That I know very well. This is a problem with majority of the students, and that is the only reason why you might excel in all other subjects, but when it comes to English, especially language, you lose marks. It's not very easy to score 15 or 16 out of 20 in writing skills, but again, it's not that difficult too. You just need to follow certain rules in order to excel in your writing skills, and I'll share the secret with you all. When you're practicing writing skills, now instead of reading, write them down. And now I'll tell you all exactly how you all have to practice your writing skills. It's going to be a 5-week exercise. But after these 5 weeks, trust me when I say this, you will never ever face difficulties when it comes to writing skills. I'll tell you all what to do. Let's say today we've learned story writing. So today onwards, we are going to practice story writing only. Now, how do we do it? Take up a writing skill book or look up the internet, search for story writing 10th ICSE. You'll get a lot of links. Click on any one of them and you'll find a topic of the story. Start writing it. Not just a topic, but the entire story. Whatever is given in the internet, write it. If you write it from a book, that's going to be even more amazing. But if you don't have access to a book, at least you have the access to the internet. You can start practicing stories like this. Now you've picked up one story, copyright it, write it. But whenever you're copywriting, just ensure one thing, that you're not distracted by any mobile phone, television. There is no kind of distraction around you. It's just you and your story. And you copyright it in your notebook for one full week. Now, let's suppose if you start from Sunday, so Sunday to next Saturday, every day you're just going to write one story. One story. Copyright it. I'm not asking you to write it on your own, copyright it. But on the 7th day, that's the next Sunday, close your book, pick up a topic and start writing a story on your own. You will automatically notice the difference between how would you write before and how you're writing now after practicing. You will at least improve by 40 to 50%. Same thing follow for narrative essay. So 1 week you just picked up narrative essay, 6 days copyright, 1 day without seeing. Cross check, you self check your paper, see where you've gone wrong, understand your mistakes. Then another week descriptive writing, another week argumentative writing, and finally picture story. 5 topics, 5 weeks. I told you all it's a 5-week exercise. But once you're done with this, never again will you face problems in writing skill. In fact, on the day of examination, you will be like, okay, let any question come, I'm prepared for all. Let there be any question, I'm prepared for all. This will be your attitude. And you will excel in it. Then scoring 18 out of 20 also will not be a problem for you all, because you all have practiced enough. 5-week exercise, one story, one essay, one narrative, descriptive, argumentative, picture story, one thing one day, just one thing. It will take you barely 15 minutes, but 15 minutes everyday practice, imagine helping you score 18 out of 20 in your examination. What better achievement than this? Follow this rule. Trust me, is going to help you. Proceeding further, I have an example here for all of you all, where you have to write an original short story that passes on the importance of being different. We all live in a world where we want to copy each other. We want to be like others, but what it means to be a different personality. Let's understand that today. So the title of my story is Being Different. And it says that one of the greatest challenges in life is being yourself in a world that's trying to make you like everyone else. So for research purposes, scientists placed 5 monkeys in a cage with a ladder in the middle and the bananas on top. So every time a monkey went up the ladder, the scientists soaked the rest of the monkeys with cold water. So after a while, whenever a monkey attempted to climb the ladder, others would beat him up. And after some time, no monkey dared go up the ladder, regardless of the temptation. Scientists then decided to replace one of the monkeys. As expected, the new monkey instantly fell for the temptation and was beaten up by the rest. After several beatings, this new member learned not to climb up the ladder, even though he never learned the real reason. Then a second monkey was brought in and the same thing happened. The first monkey participated in the beating of the second monkey. The replacements continued until only a group of 5 monkeys were left in the cage. Even though the new group of monkeys never received a cold shower, they continued to beat up any monkey that dared climb up the ladder. So if you ask me any of the new monkeys why, if you would have asked any of the new monkeys why the beatings took place, the answer would probably be, well, how do I know? I guess how things are done around here. So they don't knew the real reason why they would end up beating their fellow monkeys, but they just started following a herd mentality. सब करते तो हम भी करेंगे. So you will never influence the world if you continue doing things the way they have always been done. Be different, create chaos, leave an echo behind. So this story helps you understand the importance of being different. Now, proceeding further to essay writing. There are 3 types of essays: narrative, argumentative, and descriptive. Right? Now, if I were you, if I were a student, I would have always gone for an argumentative essay. I'll tell you the real reason. Imagine officially being allowed to argue on a point you find is correct. What better happiness than this? And argumentative, I call it a student-oriented topic because it lets the student put up their perspective without being judged, without being told that you are wrong, and they have every right to just put up their pointers, whatever they feel is correct. That too for 20 marks. And trust me when I say this, argumentative is the easiest kind of essay you can attempt, because there you're talking on point. In narrative and descriptive, again you will have to elaborate a lot in the essay. But in argumentative, you just have to put forth your points. That's it. And you get 20 marks for that. Again, let us understand the various tips for writing a good essay. Give an interesting start to your essay. Your start should be able to create interest in the mind of the readers who is reading your essay. Be very careful of the tense. Sometimes what happens is students begin the essay in past tense, slowly move on to present tense, and sometime later they're in future tense. One tense, keep it constant. Past the past, present the present, future ka to sawal hi nahi, because your story has to be written, your essay has to be written in either past or present tense, preferably in the past tense. Do not jump from one tense to the other. Take care of spellings. Often you end up writing really quick. Avoid spelling mistakes, and that is why I'll tell you all, make use of simpler words. That's okay. We do not need an extravagant vocabulary. That's absolutely okay. We want a correct vocabulary. Do not repeat adjectives or verbs. For example, if you at one place you've used happy, don't use the word happy again. You can use the word elated. If you've used attractive, use enchanting, and so on. If at one place you've used the word sad, the other place use gloomy. This is how you can, change the words. Like, let the meaning be same, but you're just changing the words. And let there be a smooth flow of thoughts. As I told her, the same thing you all can do for essay also. You can create a rough plot about the kind of essay you want to write on the particular topic and then go for it. The same thing will be allotted for picture story as well. You need to have a smooth flow of thoughts. You need to know exactly what is going to happen in your picture composition or in your essay next. And as I told you all, always know your climax before the beginning. Another way of improving your vocabulary is read newspapers. It will help you improve your grammar, vocabulary. It will help you also improve your overall knowledge. And the examples that you all have read in the newspaper, you all can also use it in your essay writing. This will help you. Always remember, you cannot ever overlook on the fact of conclusion, be it story, essay, picture composition. What's the point of writing something without concluding it? If you watch a web series and imagine the ending is not being disclosed yet, and the next season is going to come back after a year, just imagine the kind of curiosity they have left you with, and it's kind of frustrating. So do not ever overlook on the importance of conclusion. Write at least one essay every week and correct it yourself. But as I've already discussed with you all, one topic, one day. So if you've started with story, one full week, let it be only story. Next week, narrative essay. So one full week, only narrative essay. Do not switch. Another very important thing, never ever criticize a political party in your essay or a story. Never even talk good about them. Be away from politics as far as possible. Do not ever include politics in your content. Never. Proceeding further, always remember to give it an effective conclusion, not an abrupt one. And another important thing, that just because you've practiced an essay once does not mean you're not going to practice it again. Imagine the kind of happiness you might get that you've practiced an essay 3-4 times and you've perfect at it, and the same essay comes in the board examination. You will excel at it. You will be like the highest scoring person in it because you have practiced it 4 to 5 times. Every time that you practice the same essay, you get better at it. Your expressions, your tone gets better. So why not? If you feel you want to practice this essay again, do it. Go for it. Get perfect at it, and who knows, maybe the same question is asked in the examination. So what is a narrative essay? It's basically an essay. You tell a story, often about a personal experience, but you also make a point. So the purpose is not only to tell an entertaining tale, but also to expound on the importance of experience. So why are you narrating? Why are you writing a narrative essay? To share an experience and also talk about the importance of that particular experience. Moving on to descriptive essay. It's a kind of a genre of essay that asks you to ask a student to describe something, maybe an object, person, place, experience, emotion, situation. Basically, we want to see how creatively can you describe something. You have the entire artistic freedom here to frame the character the way you want. It's completely your choice. And then moving on to argumentative essay, as I told you, it's a student oriented essay. In this kind of an essay, you have to put up your opinion, argue on what you feel is correct, and trust me, when you argue enough to change the perspective of the other person, especially the person who's reading your essay, trust me, you're going to score maximum marks in it. And don't be surprised if you even end up scoring a 19 out of a 20 or a 20 out of a 20. But just ensure one thing, there are no spelling mistakes, there are no grammatical mistakes, no vocabulary errors. Keep it simple. Let the language be simple. That's absolutely okay. As I told you again, we do not want an extravagant language. We want just a perfect content. Okay. So with this, I'll stop here. I hope all your concepts pertaining to essay and story writing are clear. Okay, we'll again meet again for another topic. Thank you so much, guys. Take care and don't forget to be safe.